coyote.
Or Indians, or whoever's been following us.
That's a coyote, honey.
Look, the border's not more than 10 miles away. We'll be safe in Mexico.
I gotta get some rest. Got a bullet in me.
Somebody is following us. I told you I saw him not more than a half-day's ride behind at most.
I gotta get some rest. You ever try riding a weaker? A bullet in you? Now just let me get some rest, huh? What are you doing?
What's best?
What's that?
I'm going on alone. You stay here, hidden. I'll hire some men to come back with me for you.
Yeah, I wondered how long it'd take.
I ain't running out on you.
Yeah.
I told you what I planned.
You got every cent of money in that bag. Now, why should you come back for me? Because you love me?
That's right.
Now, lady. Oh, you're gonna stay right here with me tonight. We're gonna get a little rest. And tomorrow morning, we are going on together.
Goodbye, Ben.
Hold it right there. You've got $10,000 that belongs to Wells Fargo. I want it. Don't try that.
Hold it.
We'll take the stage the rest of the way into El Paso.
Well, let's get moving. I can't stay in this saddle much longer.
You stay where you are. In fact, get down off your horses, both of you. Hand me your reins. Don't try walking out of here, because you'd never make it.
What's wrong?
That's what I'm going to go in and find out. All right, come out of there. What happened here?
Who are you?
The name's Jim Hardy, special agent for Wells Fargo.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, that's what I call service. Wells Fargo to the rescue.
How'd you know we were here?
I didn't. I came in by chance. Now, what happened?
Bandits. They were waiting here at the station when our stage pulled in. They killed the guard and the driver when they tried to fight. But they didn't harm the rest of us.
Didn't harm us. They took everything we had with us, George.
Well, at least we're alive, Grace.
We haven't had anything to eat since yesterday.
They carried everything off. But all we could do was stay here because they took all the horses.
So, Mr. Hardy, now that Wells Fargo's back on the job, what do you propose?
I've got 2 prisoners outside. I'm gonna have to bring them in here. We'll decide then.
What'd they do?
Held up a Wells Fargo station, killed one of our agents.
This is proving to be a very rewarding trip for me. The dregs of humanity at every turn.
Is that what you're looking for, the dregs of humanity?
Perhaps. At least that's what I found. I see you don't understand. I'm a writer from New York. My name is Augustus Parmalee. Perhaps you've read some of my novels.
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
Too bad. You've missed quite a good deal. However, let me introduce you to the other members of our party. This is Mr. and Mrs. George Adams of Denver. You're a banker, aren't you, Mr. Adams?
Yes?
This is Mrs. Adams.
How do you do?
I don't seem to be able to remember your name, sir.
Maxon. Henry Maxon.
Ah, yes, of course. Mr. Maxon. Mr. Maxon and I were the only ones who were able to hide something from the bandits. I managed to keep a manuscript, and Mr. Maxon retained something of apparently equal value to him. A bottle of whiskey.
Mr. Hardy, I believe we warrant more attention than those prisoners. Don't you think it's time that you told us what you're going to do with us?
Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you that yet, ma'am. There'll be a stage in here in 2 days. We'll just have to wait for it.
Oh, but I can't stay in a place like this for 2 days with people like that.
I can't see where you have very much alternative. Unless a search party gets here sooner. When the stage doesn't reach its destination tomorrow, they'll send one out. Till then, we'll just have to wait.
Mr. Hardy, I'm not a well woman, and there must be something that you can do. You have horses and...
You're right. We've got 3 horses, and the way I see it, there's 7 people here. Now, I've thought of taking a horse and going on to the next relay station. There, I could get more horses and bring them back. It'll take 1 day to get there and 1 day to get back, and if the bandits are watching the road, I won't be back, period. We'll wait here.
Well... George, must I do all the talking?
I was just going to, but you didn't give me a chance.
Just going to. You're always just going to.
What difference does it make to you, Hardy, which way I go? This or at the end of a rope?
Not any, really, I suppose. Except that you are a human being.
Hey, Hardy, tell me something. Do they hang women in this territory?
They have.
Well, maybe I ought to stay alive long enough for the trial anyway. I got a few things I'd like to say. Don't get me ain't feeling too good, though, Hardy. I'm liable to put a bullet in you if I get a chance.
We'll go out and see if I can shoot some game. Now, there are 2 prisoners here that need guarding. And there are $10,000 in these saddlebags. I need a volunteer.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll go with you.
I can move much faster alone.
You'll make a very interesting chapter in my book. Self-sufficient Western man living off the land. You wouldn't deprive me of my research, would you?
Any objections if we talk?
No, I guess not.
The way you all look at me, I wasn't sure. No more than I deserve, I suppose. Getting mixed up with him. All on account of him. I'm gonna hang.
Hang?
He'll make sure of that. It'll be my word against his. You can see what Hardy thinks. The way he treats me.
Why'd you go with him?
I thought I was in love with him. He came to me in the middle of the night. He was wounded. He said he'd had a fight, killed a man. He talked me into running away with him. I only found out the truth about the robbery and the killing on the trail. He forced me to stay with him.
But no jury will...
Not me. I don't have any money for a lawyer, and I'm not very good at looking out for myself like some women. Your wife, for instance. People listen to her. I'm not like that. All my life, I've been kicked around. I thought I'd found someone to look after me when I met Ben, but I was wrong. He only wanted to kick me, too. Maybe it's what I deserve.
But you don't have to worry. You're a very attractive young girl. It'll all work itself out. You'll see.
Oh, thank you. You give me confidence.
Tell him you love him now, Ada. That comes next. Don't it?
Five shots, 5 rabbits. You haven't missed yet.
Well, I hope we're the only ones that heard those shots. You know, you're making my whole trip west worthwhile.
That's all. Yeah, I write novels about the West, but this is the first time I've been out here. Frankly, I've been disappointed. I was looking for, skeptically, I admit, for heroes. All that I've met so far were either scoundrels or fools. Until you. You'll probably disappoint me, I suppose, but until then, I'll keep dreaming of creating another Wild Bill Hickok. Another Buffalo Bill.
You better save your breath for the walk back to the station.
Well, what's the hurry? Nice, pleasant stroll in the wilderness.
be marvelous.
Both of them. It'll right itself. It'll be the best thing.
Shut up. Help me get this man on a horse. He's wounded, but we can't leave him here to die. If these men are Mexican bandits, and if our friends come looking for him, we're never going to make it. This is one of the men who robbed us. Where did you find him?
He and his friend tried to bushwhack us, but the resourceful Mr. Hardy dispatched his friend and then brought this vulture to earth with lightning precision.
No van a salir de aquí. Juan Morir los va a matar a todos.
Well, what did he say?
I speak fluent French, but unfortunately... You should speak Spanish, Mr. Maxon.
He says we'll never leave here alive. We'll all be killed. His leader's Juan Marin.
Juan Marin. Know who that is?
Yes, I know him. He's a killer.
Ustedes mataron el mejor amigo de Juan Morín. Va a regresar y matar a todo el mundo.
He said the one you killed is Marin's right-hand man. When they don't return to camp tonight, he'll come looking for him. The trail leads here.
What can we do?
We'll stay right here. It doesn't change anything.
What do you mean it doesn't change anything? The bandits may get here before any help can reach us.
We covered our trail the best we could. Now, I've got 2 guns, and we've got 2 guns of theirs. There's a good chance that we may not be found at all, but if we are, it's better to fight from here where we have some cover.
With the bandits' horse, with that gives us 4. 4 people could get away.
You mean if they're not sitting out there watching the road?
But there are 5 of us.
There's 7 of us, Mrs. Adams, the way I count, and 8 with him.
There are 5 of us, not including those prisoners. And they could be left with one of us, and that way 4 of us would have a chance.
You wouldn't mind volunteering to stay behind, would you, Mr. Maxon?
There's no one going to stay behind. We're all going to stay here together.
But they're going to kill us. Can't you understand that?
They're going to try to kill us. I can understand that. But nothing more. I'm going to get his horse out of sight.
Well, when are you going to start acting like a man?
What?
It doesn't mean anything to you, does it, the way Hardy's been treating me? Your wife.
Grace, please. I want to get out of here just as much as you do. I'm doing everything I can.
We wouldn't be here at all if you had any sense. I should never become involved in one of your stupid schemes.
That Texas grazing land is cheap now, and with the cattle boom coming
I
up...
don't want to hear any more about it. If we get out of here alive, we're going back to Denver, and we're going to stay there.
That deal means a lot to me, and in my judgment...
Your judgment?
Yes.
Your judgment. You have no judgment.
Grace, please, will you keep your voice down?
You'd make paupers out of both of us if I didn't watch you every single moment.
Grace,
You've never made a cent in your entire life. Look, it's my money, and I'm going to decide how it's spent. Now, you put on airs with the rest of them if you'd like to, but not with me. You find any food worth eating, you bring it to me.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything out there. However, we're going to keep watch all night long in 2-hour shifts.
You think the bandits will find us tonight?
I don't think so. But if they do, we're not going to be caught unprepared. And they need watching.
I'll take the watch after you.
You can count on me for the next.
Thank you. Mr. Maxon, would you follow Mr. Parmalee?
Who's going to watch Maxon? He'll take one of the horses and run. Isn't that right?
No, I won't.
No? I know differently, don't I? Why don't you tell them who you are? All right. We have a man of modesty among us. I didn't say anything about it before because I rather enjoyed watching him. Seeing him dread the moment when it'll all come out. We hadn't been on the stage half a day before I recognized him. You knew that, didn't you? The way I looked at you. But I've played the game all I can. I'm not going to trust my life to you.
That was 10 years ago.
I covered that trial for the New York Monthly. It was my first big assignment as a newspaper reporter. I'll bet I could quote that transcript verbatim. Would you like that?
You've got something to say, Pomley. Say it.
Sorry. Our famous, or rather infamous friend here gave a false name. 10 years ago, he was known as Henry Maxon Larch. Of course. I forgot there's so few newspapers in the West. But his trial was one of the most famous in maritime history. He was a first mate for the steamer the Dover Castle, South American trade. The boilers exploded, but miraculously, Mr. Larch survived. Unfortunately for him, there was one other person who was saved, a woman. One of 50 women and children on board. You want to tell the rest? That woman testified at the trial. She told how Larch had taken the one usable lifeboat, abandoning everyone else on board. He spent 10 years in prison. He should have been hanged.
I tried to reach the passengers. I couldn't get through the flames.
You were drunk!
Is all this true, Mr. Maxon, what he says?
I admitted I'd been drinking. My wife and our baby died a week before I went to sea.
Is that why you came west, to get away so you could forget?
Can't get away from what you feel inside.
If the law says you've paid for your mistake, then there's no other law that says you've got to go on paying the rest of your life. Now, what I'm interested in now, and all I'm interested in, is whether or not we can depend on you now or not.
I can't tell you truthfully, I don't know.
I can't tell you truthfully.
Why, that... First, let me thank you for telling us about Mr. Maxon, or Larch, whatever his name is. But then let's get one thing straight, that I'm just as doubtful of you at this point as I am of him, because you're scared.
What?
You're scared stiff. Different people show it in different ways. You try to strike out and hurt and destroy everyone around you. But you'll not do it again, do you understand?
Now, wait a minute. I didn't do anything.
Get some sleep. You're going to need it. Perhaps you should get some rest, too, Mr. Adams.
You're a real noble fella, ain't you, Hardy? How much did you make? 100? Or maybe 150 a month? For that, you're willing to put your head on a platter for old Wells Fargo. You got $10,000 in them saddlebags. Why don't you take it? Get out of here. Go down to Mexico. You can live high. Higher than you ever dreamed. When they'd never catch you. $10,000. See, I learned. I learned from a man just like you. Played it straight right down the line. That's why he's dead. He's my brother. He raised me practically till I was 12. And the war came. He had his head filled with a bunch of words like honor, duty. Well, they shipped what was left of him back in a box. Oh, big hero. You and my brother, you got a lot in common. You're both fools. You'll die for nothing.
It was stuffy. I thought I'd let in some air.
Mind? Smells good. If we stepped outside, you could still keep an eye on them and on me. It's such a lovely night, but...
Go ahead.
It's just that I couldn't sleep.
We can talk. It'll help pass the time.
Oh, I don't want it to pass. I haven't got much time left.
I told you I'd help you.
No, that would mean trouble. Your wife.
I do what I want to.
Oh, I wish I'd met you before she had. Well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I suppose you love her very much. It's just that when I saw the way she talked to you, I hated her. How a man like you deserves... I'd treat you like this.
We'd better go back inside. Believe me, I'll help you.
I just looked away for a minute. I don't know how it happened.
He got away? Yes, he did.
But he'll lead the others to us. We won't stand a chance. We won't stand a chance.
Anything?
No? Search party should have been here by this time.
Well, they could have run into trouble. Hardy, reason I came out, I wanted to tell you. What you asked me last night?
About whether we could depend on you?
This is why I couldn't answer it. Picked it up and they turned me loose. Haven't had a drink out of it. Kept it with me. I figured I'd need it. What you said inside helped.
Maxon? I've got to go up on top of that ridge and take a look and see if I can see anything of the search party. Now, Adams, he's watching the prisoners inside. You keep a good, sharp lookout on the outside here. If you see anything, you fire the gun. I'll be back as quick as I can get here.
Juan Marin will slaughter every one of us.
What about the search party?
Oh, they won't get here. Hardy knows that. Why do you think he left?
I can't believe it. He didn't take his saddlebags. The money.
If he had taken them, everyone would know what he was doing. $10,000 to get out of here is cheap.
You don't seem frightened.
I've lived for days knowing I was going to die. It doesn't really matter how. And I don't know. But the time here with you, it's the best thing I've known. No, there's something I want you to do. There are 2 horses outside. Parmalee's asleep. Only Maxon's standing guard. You could take care of him and get away while there's still time. Oh, the others don't matter. Only you. It's the only way.
What about you? And Grace? How can I leave?
There are 2 horses. Everyone here will die, except we 2. No one will know. They'll all be dead.
Parmalee took over. I thought I'd get some air.
I sure wish Hardy'd get back.
Yeah, but he hasn't been gone too long. I think I killed him the way he... Wait a minute. What's that?
Hardy's money. We'll need it. Don't worry about the saddles. The gun. Where's Maxon's gun? Not now, you old fool. Hurry!
I ought to kill you. I ought to kill both of you.
I should have shot him myself when I had this chance. You know, Hardy, you really picked yourself a bunch of winners to get stuck with here. I've been laying here, taking it all in, you know, measuring them up. We all know what it is. And me, but just look at the rest of this bunch. How do you know you're the only human being here?
That'll be enough, Crider.
And you're a fool.
You hear me?
You better all get away from this window.
I am Juan Morin, a man who rode with us and was your prisoner. He came back to our camp this morning. Before he died, he told us a man named Hardy shot him and his companion. I could kill every one of you. But Juan Morin is not a butcher. I do not wish to. If you will send to me the man Hardy, I will not harm the others. You will decide your choice before an hour.
Well, you all got a chance, huh? Well, go on, say it. All you have to do is get Hardy to go out that door. And you're all safe. Well, what if Hardy won't volunteer? That's what you're thinking? Well, then you could all rush him. You could force him out. Why not?
That's enough, Crider.
Well, maybe if it means just one of us dying instead of all of us, perhaps.
No. What are you? You want him to die for you, for me, for anyone here? You think he should die for me? You carved out my inside years ago, and there's nothing left. That's why I could go off with that girl. I'm as cold and empty inside as you are. And you've never felt for anyone in your whole life but yourself. Go ahead, Hardy. Let him kill you. Think of what you'd be saving.
George, I was just trying to save your life. I do love you. I was so afraid of losing you. I didn't know how to... Please believe me, please.
Fight him out there or in here. Either way, I'm standing with you.
I never figured that I'd write a part like this for myself, but I'd like to handle one of the guns.
We'll tell Marin he's got a fight on his hands. Hardy, do you think Marin would let Grace go free if she left before the fight?
George, I want to stay with you.
Any man that can get this bunch here to fight for him. If you ain't the fool I thought you was, Hardy. Well, honey, looks like we ain't gonna be facing a hanging after all, huh? Now we're gonna get ours right here. That is, unless, of course, you can make a little deal with Juan Marin. Huh?
I think we're going to take all the time we can. I'd hate to see that search party show up just 5 minutes too late. Adams, if you'll watch that back window. And Mrs. Adams, if you'll take her in the other room and stay with her. And Mr. Barton, it might be a good idea if you went with them.
All right.
All right, over there. Now throw your guns over here.
Family!
Yeah, what?
Put your gun down. Get over there. Now, don't anybody move. I'm a little shaky. No. Been laying there, thinking. I don't much like the idea of dying at the end of a rope. So I'm getting out.
You walk out that door, you're going to die with a belly full of lead.
Oh, no. They're looking to shoot a man named Hardy. I ain't never met a man like you since my brother.
You win, Hardy! Yeah!
Maxon has agreed to say a few words over Kreider if you care to join us. Then you can take whatever you have left with you. We won't come back inside.
Some of us are taking a great deal, Mr. Hardy.
You're going to have to join us, Ada, whether you want to or not. I can't leave you in here by yourself.
Mr. Hardy. Never mind.
Produced in association with the NBC Television Network.